In today's video, I'm going to compare this DJI OSMO 360 to this Insta360 X5. Let us start. Hello there, I hope you're good. In today's video, I'm going to compare side by side the DJI OSMO 360 to the Insta360 X5. Now I'm shooting in 360 mode on both of them. I'll try to have somehow similar settings on both of them throughout all of this video. I'm not going to give my final thoughts about this comparison. Yesterday I made the first video for the OSMO 360. And there are things that I loved about it and some others that I didn't. But I will not share my full thoughts about these two cameras in this video. I'm keeping that for a full review of the OSMO 360 and the full in-depth comparison with the X5. And by the way, just bear with me this time. I have them side by side, so the stitching won't be so good because I have them side by side and these cameras are not meant to be used this way. Let us test now the built-in microphones of these two cameras. Now I'm running without any wireless microphone. They are off here, and I'm testing the built-in microphones of these two cameras. Which one you like better, whether the one of the Osmo 360 from DJI or the one from Insta360 on the X5 camera. Let me know down below. Let us test now the built-in microphones of these two cameras. Now I'm running without any wireless microphone, they are off here, and I'm testing the built-in microphones of these two cameras. Which one you like better, whether the one of the Osmo 360 from DJI or the one from Insta360 on the X5 camera? Let me know down below. Actually, there will be some changes in the strategy of today's video. In the beginning, I said that I'll be running with these two side by side on the same mount, but that's not so ideal for stitching, because when we will mix the image coming from the two sensors of the camera, we need a dedicated mount like this one, this selfie stick, because everything is hidden in the shape of the camera. The same goes for the Insta360 X5. So now I will go for another walk with these two cameras side by side, but each on its own stick. So this is the strategy, or this is the next part of today's video. And just after that, I will come back here and I'll give you my thoughts about what I noticed from yesterday's video about the Osmo 360, as well as what I noticed today as well. So here I'm back after few my walk around with these two cameras. In the morning it was side by side on the same mount, and then later on two separated mounts just like now. And I've come to some conclusions after I edited the video yesterday of the Osmo 360 and after I checked the footage of this morning. Actually, before we talk about footage, let me tell you that today again this one, well, was burning hot, while this one was quite warm but not that hot. I wish I had with me something to measure the real temperature of these two cameras. This one was so okay and I was walking in the sun. This one was burning hot, so I couldn't touch it with my hand. I kept holding it with this stick. So that's something to consider. The other thing is that I know that I take lots of precautions when it comes to cameras and so on. But with this one, the replaceable kit, it will give you like a peace of mind. I purchased the lens protection kit for this Osmo 360, but it is plasticky. So I'm sure that it will affect the image quality, and because now I'm trying just to compare some image quality, I didn't use it. And I'm planning to take it with me to London so I can test it there. If I will scratch the lens, it's gonna be the protection, even if I won't get the highest image quality possible. The third point is the audio. I'm really like so positive about the audio coming out from this one, because we have wind guard, and on this one we don't have a wind guard built in. So if we will talk about wireless audio, of course DJI ecosystem in my opinion is better. But if we are talking about just a camera to use it to vlog, to record some vacation time, some family time, this one has a very good microphone built in and lots of options to choose from for your audio, for your microphone, whether stereo, wind reduction, and so on. So this one is more versatile. If we would like to talk about the form factor, as I said yesterday, I was very negative about the form factor of this one, but at the end I like it. Let's be honest, the form factor of this one is quite interesting, but the screen on this one, on the X5, is bigger, and the vertical form factor, maybe because I'm used to it. It's been many years I'm using Insta360 360 cameras. Maybe I'm used to this form factor more, but this one is not so bad. Let's be honest about that. The other thing that I would like to talk about is the internal storage. On this one we have an internal storage of about 110 gigabyte, which is insane. I wish that we had that, or that we will have that on the future version of Insta360 cameras, because this is a game changer. You don't have to empty your card to put it again and so on. But keep in mind that the files are huge on this one, so 110 gigabyte won't last you for the weekend if you are planning to take lots of shots with your camera. This is on one side. But on the other side we have the cloud with Insta360, which is nice. I have the cloud subscription, and whenever I have lots of data on my camera I can sync them to the cloud, and I can free up some space on my camera and continue recording. So well, there is an alternative for the built-in storage. But I would love to see a camera from Insta360 with built-in storage. That would be ideal. If you would like to talk about the software, the editing software, it was a nightmare editing the footage from this Osmo 360 on the DJI Studio. It was a huge nightmare, and the software was buggy, It was like not responding 3 times during the video that I made yesterday, although I didn't do much things in it. I just took the clip, made some keyframes, exported, and so on. So at a certain moment I thought that I will stop editing the video and I'll keep it to another day, because it was very frustrating to see that even my huge computer was very suffering from the software. So that's not something ideal. I know that they will release firmware updates for that and everything will be better later on. And by the way, just in terms of firmware updates, the overheating issues can be solved apparently by a firmware update, because when I reached out to DJI support, I told them it was so burning hot, the camera. They told me you have to turn off the edit assist or the AI edit assist or something like that. I told them it was turned off. They said if you turn it off and if you lower the image quality, no, if you turn this off, you will the processor will not work as much as it was working with the AI edit assist on, and you will prevent your camera from overheating. I told them it was not on and the temperatures were not so high as today. That was yesterday. And I was not expecting that from them, because I told them a few years ago, GoPro, they told me, when I told them that the camera was overheating, they told me you don't have to shoot in 5.6K or 5.7K, I don't remember. You have to shoot in 4K or less in order to avoid that overheating. So what's the point of getting a camera that should work at its high resolution and you cannot run it for a couple of minutes because of that overheat? That's, for me, a shame. And if we would like to talk about the image quality, we have huge flares on this one that I don't see them on the Insta360 X5. Or let's be real, of course we will have flares because we have lenses and glasses and so on. That's something optically impossible to eliminate, all type of flares. But the flares on this one were so harsh, in my opinion. They could have been better managed. This is my opinion about them. And I think that I noticed that this one, the OSMO360, it has some jumps in the frames, not jumps in the frame, how we can say that, but it's not so smooth in terms of stabilization compared to this Insta360 X5. The stabilization on the OSMO360 is lacking a bit. I don't know why. They have lots of stabilization systems. They have one of the best work study in the market, but maybe it's not well managed now to be on a 360 camera. And we should not forget, this is their first iterations of 360 cameras. So, well, everything needs time. I moved to this house a month ago and I still have things in boxes. I didn't finish the work in the garage, so everything needs time, that's for sure. And we are waiting for the updates of this one to see how it will perform. Not only to compare it to the Insta360 camera, but how it will perform, because today, even though we have nice image, well, nice image, I will talk about that in a minute, but the overall experience is not so good with this one. On this Insta360 X5, you have the Insta frame. Okay, you can have like a 1080 footage, 16:9 or 9:16, but that's usable for social medias and so on. And with that Insta frame, you don't have the stick showing in your framing. While with this one, you don't have that mode. And when you tilt this head here, so the camera a little bit, you will see the stick in the footage. And that's not something nice neither. With the DJI Osmo Action 4, I think, it was possible to remove the stick from the final footage. We have to upload it to the cloud and then they will send it back without the stick. So why not having this in this camera automatically? So this is something that, yeah, it's a question for DJI. The pure video mode and the super night mode on both are quite solid, quite nice. I didn't recognize, or I didn't notice any significant issues on the DJI compared to the Insta360. They both perform well, because in extra low light conditions or the footage that I got in my office well, it's not well lit, and yeah, we cannot expect to have the best quality possible. So this is something to consider. By the way, if we'd like to talk about the battery, I used these two cameras for the same amount of time. The battery, I have the normal battery on the X5, I still have 71% now, and I have 63% on this DJI. So yeah, and by the way, I was shooting in 8K 30, not 8K 50. So by that, we are saving a bit of the battery and a bit of the processor, but still the battery consumption is bigger on this one compared to the X5, and it was way hotter than this one. So this one was, the X5 was quite, it was warm, it was not cold, but this one was burning hot. So that's a major difference in my opinion. Let's talk a little bit, and the last point in today's video, and once again, this is not my final thoughts about this DJI OSMO 360. I'll be making more videos, but now I'm preparing my trip to London, so I don't have much time. But these are initial thoughts on this camera. Yesterday, I really enjoyed the D-Log-M on this one, especially that you have the lot available on the DJI website. So it's just an extra step. You drop your footage, you take that lot, you make an adjustment layer, and you drop that lot on the adjustment layer, and everything will be like solved. But if you are shooting a normal color profile, well, the colors are way off. On the OSMO 360, they didn't learn anything from all the content, all the videos that I made, that the other made concerning the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro, and it's bad coloring, it's bad profiles. I don't like the colors coming out of this one. Even yesterday in one sequence, it started with some very bad colors, and then by the end of the footage, the colors were better, way better. So I don't know what is happening here and why we have this. It should be something stable, something constant, something, well, not moving so fast in this way. This is my opinion, but the D-Log-M is very nice. The D-Log-M is the profile to go with if you would like to get this OSMO 360. Don't bother with the normal color profile. So that's something for sure. On the other side, the adaptive tone is a big win for this Insta360 X5, because I explained that before and I will just repeat it now. The camera is capturing way more exposures than what you can see on it, because later on when you reframe, it will calculate the exposure based on your actual frame. And that's something very genius from Insta360, because if the camera now is facing me and I'm in the shade while outside is sunny, so the camera won't have the best exposure possible, especially that these cameras, we mostly use them in automatic exposure. So yeah, this is a big win for this Insta360 X5 compared to this DJI Osmo 360. So that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. And if I made it today this way, and if I changed my strategy, it's that because I was getting lots of messages, lots of comments on my previous video for the Osmo 360, people asking me about my opinion on these two side by side. So I tried to make it quick today, and I'm trying just to be spontaneous with you, even though now I will record the same kind of talking headshots in French. But yeah, I'm trying to be spontaneous. I didn't throw things, and I hope that in the French version I won't miss things, or I hope that they will be like similar somehow. So that was it. If you are interested in any of these cameras, of course I have my affiliate links down below, and if you'd like to support my channel, you can like, comment, and click on the bell so you will not miss my upcoming posts, and you can join the member zone where you can ask all the questions that you would like to know about the gears that I showcase on my channel, about these two for example, and I'll make dedicated videos to answer your questions. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Ciao for now.